Can you just talk a little bit about the road trip and now being home and getting the Arizona schools and what's the forecast for the Cougars?
Well, I thought the weekend was a challenging one. I mean, that's the least of it. I thought UCLA was just dominating performance by them. It just showed the very thing that we aren't, and that's a physical team that's willing to rebound. They have athletes that just a little bit like Oregon. You know, they're real committed to the style that they play, and they're real committed to getting second chances. And I think they're a team that you just realize that they take advantage of the very thing that they're good at, and there's a lot of ways to be effective in basketball, and they give themselves a chance to be really effective just because they were relentless on the boards, and they certainly were against us. For us, we have to be pretty perfect in how we play because we don't have that kind of athlete or mentality of affecting the game on that side of the ball or on that rebounding, and that's something we've got to be better at. I thought we did a much better job against USC. I was really happy with our performance and our effort and our and how we moved the ball. It was great to see us score some baskets. It was great to see some ball movement. I thought we got a tremendous performance out of Chanel Molina. Swede made some early baskets that really set the tone, and Bobby was really good. You know, and I just thought we lost our intensity a little bit in the second half and didn't defend at the level. I think we fixed some things on offense, and we hurt ourselves on defense, and that was disappointing to lose the game probably on the defensive end. And it's the same old thing. I think we're a little bit limited in how many points we can put on the board, probably a little bit limited in how we can affect the game defensively, so we have to be sound on both sides of the ball. And we got our points probably about as much as we can get, and then we let a team that get to their strength over and over and over. And once the points got to 80, and so we're probably a little bit out of the game. So, but there's a lot of positives on it. There's a lot of positives on our recovery and our response to the second game in a series. And it's nice to be back home and have a chance to see how we fare against the Arizona teams.
You mentioned Chanel specifically. She's been on kind of a tear, especially behind the arc. What's different, do you think, in these last few games that she's taken an already good season to another level?
Well, every time, Chanel is really hungry to be good and works at the game and studies the game and asks a lot of questions and wants to be good for her team. And I think she's struggled a little bit at times by not taking shots. And we've really gotten on to her about if people go under on balls, she has to shoot that. We have to have her shoot those shots. And we can live with the fact if she makes or misses them because those are the shots that we have to win. And she's fully capable of scoring those. So she took advantage of them going under, of them not getting out and pressuring her. And we need her to be that way. We need her to be aggressive on balls and turn the corner or snake them or get into the lane and create shots for people. And we certainly need her to take her three. So, we need her offensive output. And a lot's on her shoulders because, she kind of gets yelled at if she doesn't pass the ball up the floor to shooters. And yet at the same time, we're telling her that she needs to be more aggressive. So she's got to walk a fine line there. And I think she's done a great job and did a pretty good job this past weekend and has really, again, I just love her disposition. I love how she prepares for the game. I love how she practices. I love her attitude, and obviously her game and her competitiveness is on. Everybody sees it every night out.
And then Bobby scored 24 against USC, became the third leading scorer in program history. But it's more been she's been rebounding a lot lately, triple or double-digit rebounds in 3 straight games. What do you think she's been doing differently, or is it just the ball's been in the right position for her? What do you see out there?
Well, I think, again, we're asking a lot of Bobby to change her game a little bit. I think if in a perfect world, she would play on the perimeter more and she'd be a guard. With our lineup, she has to play a lot of 4. And if she's playing a lot of 4, she needs to be around the basket a lot. She needs to post up. She needs to get post hits. And she needs to rebound. And I think it's been a struggle for her to do that because it's not in her nature. It's not her instinct. But I think she's made a conscious effort to rebound on the defensive glass a little bit more over the last two weeks maybe. It's funny, she got 10 rebounds and then Maria dropped off and got 2 in the last game. So we need those 2 players to both be in double-digit rebounding for us to be effective. But I like the way Bobby's responding to certainly the challenge of being everybody's scout and on everybody's radar, and baskets sometimes are going to be hard for her to come by. She has to be really smart on that end of the floor. We need her to score. I thought her decision-making on good shot, bad shot was great in the USC game. I thought she was aggressive and taking open looks and going to the basket at times. I thought she got to the foul line a few times and should have gotten maybe a few more times. So I really liked her disposition. I think she made some errors on defense, and that's the next big thing is we cleaned up some things on the offense, and then we shot ourselves in the foot a little bit on the defensive end, and some things that I thought we would be better at defending. We just kind of lost our minds a little bit in the second half and let them get some easy looks. So there's always something that we're working on, but I'm happy with how Bobby's responding to, again, a lot on her shoulders. A lot of people scout, a lot of people double teaming, triple teaming, and she's having to make plays in spite of that. And I like the fact that she's putting herself in those rebounding positions, which is another way to help us be successful and to be competitive in games. And when she doesn't do that, we're generally not competitive. So it puts a lot of pressure on her to do that, and it was nice to see her respond in the right way.
And then finally this weekend, Arizona State Thursday, Arizona Saturday, 2 completely different styles of basketball. How does that affect you as a coaching staff, as a team, preparing for such different styles?
Well, it's just the nature of this league. I mean, I do think in some ways Arizona State is maybe these 2 teams we just played, UCLA and USC, defensively, the pressure they put on you, the tremendous team defense they put on you, the rebounding. I think that maybe helps us get ready for Arizona State. They run a lot more offense and sets and things that we're going to have to guard and be aware of, and tendencies and things like that. So I feel like, both teams are similar to somebody in our league. They're not just wild cards or outliers that we just haven't seen all year. Obviously, Arizona has, one of the top players in the league that can just rattle off 30 or 40 on you if you're not careful. So that's a dynamic that we have to be able to turn around in one day and defend. And like I said, we probably didn't do a good enough job against USC. We knew what they wanted to do. With only one day to prepare, we just really, kind of let them get to their strength, which is the one thing you can't do when you have a quick turnaround game. So we're going to have to do the same thing against Arizona, have a little bit more time to scout Arizona State, but that back-to-back and get ready for a fantastic player is a hard thing to do. And, on the other hand, you want to be hard to guard too, and you want to be effective and make them have to adjust to what you do. And we're going to be at home, and I expect us to continue to work on us and continue to put a great effort forward and give ourselves a great chance to win both games.